There are so many reasons why we want to lead from love, why we want to return to heart all the time. When we look at what's happening in our world right now, we see the tragedies unfold on the screen, and our heart goes out to the people who suffer. Anyone who suffers. We see that the beginning of the conflict, that this last part of it that happened the other day, we saw hundreds of suffering people. Then we see the retaliation, where we see thousands of suffering people. And what we see is an increase in fear and violence and death on our planet. So when we choose sides, we're only feeding the harshness. We're only feeding that anger. In the quantum field, when we look at the healing that comes from a healed heart, when we look at somebody who sits in their inner love and their inner strength and their inner light, when that light starts to emanate through our world, we're creating ripples. These ripples are like rings on the water of a pond or a lake. And these rings, they keep spreading out. And sometimes we'll feel better without knowing why. Because there's a shift in the energy field. And we are all connected in this energy field, right? The same thing goes for violence and negativity and fear. These also create ripples throughout the space-time continuum or the quantum field. These ripples of fear and anger and negativity, if we jump on the bandwagon, we're only enhancing and enforcing and strengthening the dark forces. The dark forces that are behind the matrix, the dark forces that want us to live in more fear, want us to live in more suffering. So our hearts goes out to the sufferers, to the suffering. And we hold the whole area in a lot of light and a lot of love. But to go in and either feel or think that that side is the evil side or that side is the evil side, we have lost our perspective. Yes, we have gone into a very human perspective, very much like one tribe is going to kill another tribe and we're going to take a side. Not seeing that if we look at it from above, if we look at it from a different angle, it's negative for both tribes to be killing each other. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't support the whole. It doesn't support the system that we're living in. It doesn't support love, life, expression, creativity. These kind of expressions in the quantum field or in the negativity of the human mind and consciousness only create more suffering, only create more darkness. It doesn't create peace. It doesn't create love. It doesn't create life. It tears it down. So when we come back home to our hearts, when we come back home, this is where some people would probably refer to it as mastery, where we come back home and we can master what frequency are we choosing to sit in. Are we choosing to sit in our anger and negativity and fear, or are we choosing to return home to love? Yes? When it comes down to it, there are these two spaces. And love can also very much be your inner stillness. It can be you accessing that silent space within you that is always in balance and at peace. The mind works sometimes like a tornado around that peace. But when you get to the center, to the stillness, you experience that peace that goes beyond words, goes beyond mind. This is the peace that we also know as love. And because love is this upbuilding force in our world, if you look at the principles of life, the processes that we are living in, that we are a part of, you can easily see that the trees are growing, the cells are multiplying, the grass is growing, the birds and the bees and the humans are procreating, creating more life, both within us on a cellular level, right? The cells in your body keeps growing. And then when humans get together and they express it through the physical act of love, they end up creating more life. Much like the cells in the body create more cells, humans are also creating more humans. Just like the birds are creating more birds, or any one of the animals, four-leggeds, two-leggeds, the Nunpas on our planet. Yes? So when we see that that is an upbuilding force, that we can call that positive, we also realize that anything that destroys it, the way war, negativity, and fear does, is factually harmful, negative, tearing down, not building up. So we come back to love, to heart, to ourselves, over and over and over. This is also how we support the frequency of love on our planet. And as you sit in that, it's like a choir of frequencies, right, on our planet. And as you sit in that frequency of love, if you start to support that hum, let's say it sounds like that, hum. More and more people are vibrating in the hum. Suddenly, we're going to have that shift of consciousness coming quicker and quicker and quicker. Because the more you hear a certain tone, the easier it is to entrain yourself with it, align yourself with it. Versus if you hear the, I'm angry, we're negative, we're horrible, this is terrible. If you align yourself with that, that spreads as well. Right? But if you really listen to your heart, the song of your body, the song of your heart, the song of your soul, you start to dance to life. This is where we want to live from. This is why what we're seeing playing out in the Middle East at the moment is destructive on every level, creating these ripples of fear and anger. So if we come back home to heart, we help to heal that trauma that's being inflicted. We also need to see that there are puppet masters pulling strings here. That there are people making a lot of money on these looming wars, what we call the matrix. There are puppet masters who are controlling it all. So when we get upset, we're only playing into the hands of those puppet masters. We're doing exactly what the manipulative forces of the 3D matrix want us to do. So coming back home to heart, being a light worker, being a light warrior, is always the answer, right? Love is always the answer. It's tricky because love can be expressed in different ways, but love is always the answer. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'll see you in the next one. Much love. Much, much love. Namaste and aho.